As the world of work changes, more and more people are looking for ways to avoid the typical business life. The idea of becoming a digital traveler and being able to work from anywhere in the world is becoming more and more appealing. Digital nomads want to be their own boss and have a more interesting life, so they look for countries with a good lifestyle and easy visa choices. In this movie, we'll take a look at 12 countries that stand out as great places for digital nomads to live and work. So, if you're ready to start this exciting trip, let's dive in and find your next possible home as a digital nomad. Philippines is number 12. The Philippines, which has more than 7,000 islands, is one of the best places for digital nomads on a budget to live. It is known for its warm weather, nice people, and welcoming culture. It is surrounded by magical beaches and clear blue lagoons. Even though some parts of it aren't as safe, its major hubs are safe for the most part. Places like Cebu, Davao, and Boracay are home to many people from other countries. But when most people think of the Philippines, they only think of Manila. The truth is, though, that the main city is getting more and more crowded. On the other hand, other smaller towns around it are just as beautiful, busy, and peaceful, if not more so. In terms of visa rules, the country started this year by offering a digital nomad visa. When asked to show that you make at least $24,000 per year, the standards are clear. This visa is good for 12 months, but it's easy to get another 12 months if the application still meets the requirements. Digital nomads also don't have to pay local taxes on their income from outside the country, but they won't be able to work for Filipino companies. Colombia is number 11. Mainstream media and Hollywood usually show Colombia as a dangerous place where drug gangs and the mafia rule. But the country as a whole isn't even close to that. There are some places in Colombia that you should stay away from, especially in towns like Bogota, Cali, and Buenaventura. Overall, though, it's pretty safe. In fact, towns like Santa Marta, Medellin, and even Cartagena have lower crime rates than big U.S. cities like Cleveland, Detroit, and Houston. Also, many of these places have a large number of retirees, expats, and digital nomads from other countries. Many people from other countries now live here permanently, especially if they know a little Spanish. The low cost of living and beach life are the main reasons for this. Also, the country has a working visa for people who work from home called Visa Visión Digitales. This visa is good for 2 years, and applicants only need to show that they make $680 per month. The Bahamas is 10th. Even though seniors and real estate investors are more likely to go to the Bahamas, wealthy remote workers can also find a great place to stay there. It is surrounded by blue water and has a number of beautiful islands, each of which is different from the others. Paradise Island, Nassau, and Freeport are some of the best places to live in the Bahamas, but they tend to be very expensive. Cat Island and Long Island are much better places to live if you want to take it easy and save money. The time it takes to get a visa is also a bit longer than in some of the other countries listed in this video, but the rest of the requirements are pretty easy to understand. For a 2-year visa that can't be renewed, the country requires proof of remote work, a monthly income that shows the candidate can afford to live comfortably, and, of course, no criminal record. Even so, many people who work from home choose the digital nomad visa because of the tax breaks and easy banking system. The United Arab Emirates, UAE, is number 9. Last year, the United Arab Emirates started offering a digital nomad visa. Since then, almost 60,000 people have applied for it, according to statistics. So, it's one of the most popular visas for people who work from home. Also, Dubai is ranked as the 3rd best place for people who work from home, and almost 90% of its people are from other countries. But keep in mind that the standards for this visa are very strict. You have to show that you make around $5,000 a month, and if you own your own business, you have to show that you've owned it for at least a year. Those who are accepted get a resident ID that lets them use most public services and facilities, just like other city residents. One can buy a house or other type of housing, open bank accounts, put children in local schools, and even apply for bank loans. But not everyone can live in the UAE because the cost of living in places like Abu Dhabi and Dubai can reach nearly $3,500 per month. So it's safe to say that the UAE's digital nomad program is mostly for well-off people who work from home. Georgia is number 8. Georgia is one of the most unique and different countries in the world. and it can be a great place to live for both people who like to stay busy and have lots of adventures and people who want to live a quiet, peaceful life. Also, this is one of the most open countries in the world for digital workers because people from 95 countries can enter without a visa and stay for up to a year. Aside from that, they have a lot of choices for people who work from home, including programs just for people who work online. Most people use the choice to get a Georgia visa while they are away from home. This program lets people stay in the country for up to 5 years, during which time they can open a bank account, start a business, and even buy a house. To get this, you have to show that you make at least $2,000 a month and have at least $24,000 in your bank account. Hungary is number 7. Hungary is a landlocked country in the middle of Europe. It has a great mix of Eastern and Western European cultures and a lot of different landscapes. There are beautiful green hills, wide fields, and green river valleys in the country. Its capital, Budapest, is called the Pearl of the Danube. It is one of the most populated towns in Europe and has some of the most beautiful buildings and best food in the world. It's a great place for any digital nomad who wants to do well in a busy place. In November 2021, the country gave out its Digital Nomad visa, also known as the White Card. It can last up to a year and can be extended by another year. To apply, you need to show that you make about $2,100 a month and have a bank statement from the last 6 months. Overall, this visa is like a personal residence pass that lets you open a bank account and even buy a home. But couples and families can't apply, which is a shame. Dominica is number 6. Dominica is an island country in the Western Caribbean. It is famous for being one of the best places for foreigners to retire and buy citizenship because it has natural hot springs and tropical jungles. It is known as the Nature Island of the Caribbean because of how natural it is. It has a lot of beautiful natural scenery, like clean sand beaches and lush green mountains, that make it feel more tropical. Aside from its natural beauty, the island is also easy to get a visa for if you work from home. All you need is a letter of recommendation from a bank and proof that you make at least $50,000 a year. Also, the visa lets you work remotely on the island for up to 18 months. It also comes with a lot of other benefits like duty-free goods and tax breaks, which make the decision to move here even more appealing. 5th, Albania. Albania is on the Balkan Peninsula in southeastern Europe. It has beautiful beaches on the Adriatic and Ionian Seas and the towering Albanian Alps. Even though Albania isn't always a great place for remote workers, those who have moved there like the beautiful beaches, sunny weather, and most of all, how cheap it is to live there. $1,000 a month is enough for a single person to live comfortably in any of its big cities. The country also has beautiful azure seas, clean beaches, nice weather all year round, and a lot of things to do that will keep you interested for the whole time you're there. Also, people from most countries like Australia, the United States, Canada, and the European Union can visit Albania for up to 90 days as tourists. Lastly, it is easy to apply for a digital nomad visa. The only things you need to show are that you have enough money to live easily and that you have health insurance. Aside from that, the country doesn't ask for any extra paperwork and lets remote workers stay for up to a year, with the option to stay for another 5 years. Indonesia is number 4. Many remote workers decide to move to Indonesia and start a new life there because of its beautiful scenery, wildlife, delicious food, and friendly people. But it's also appealing to people who want to stay for less than a year, from 6 months to a year. Places like Jakarta, Bali, and Lombok are great hubs of activity, culture, delicious food, friendly locals, a lot of foreign communities, and beautiful natural scenery. Also, the country will soon start using a new digital nomad visa. This will happen later this year. The person who gets this visa will be able to live in the country for up to 5 years, and they won't have to pay any taxes on money they earn elsewhere. On the other hand, the standards for this program are said to be pretty high. Applicants must show that they have saved around $120,000 or have a monthly income of more than $3,000. Croatia is number 3. Croatia is in the middle of Southeast and Central Europe. It is all on the eastern coast of the Adriatic Sea. Cities like Dubrovnik, Split, and Zadar are famous for being on the beach. There are many old architectural landmarks in the country that give it a unique culture flavor. Aside from this, it has 20 livable islands in the south, such as Hvar and Brač. which are often ranked as some of the best places for retirees who want a more relaxed way of life. Also, Croatia has one of the best safety ratings in this part of Europe, and it has all the current services and amenities, as well as good public transportation and an overall low cost of living. Its program for remote workers started in early 2021, and it might work like a temporary residence pass instead of a visa. There are different amounts of time for the permit, with a maximum of 12 months. But even better, it can still be made bigger. On the other hand, to apply for this visa, you have to be in the country. There is no way to apply from outside the country. To be eligible, you must show that you make at least $2,700 a month. Estonia is number 2. Estonia was one of the first places to offer a digital nomad visa, and it has always been a very welcoming place for people who work from home. It is one of the most developed and safe Baltic states. It is in Northern Europe, near the Gulf of Finland. Its main city, Tallinn, is quickly becoming a technological hub. Also, foreign investors are becoming more interested in Estonia, and the city of Tallinn has one of the highest numbers of tech startups per person in all of Europe. Aside from that, it has a varied landscape with rocky beaches, old-growth woods, and a lot of lakes. At the moment, it has 2 types of short-stay visas for digital nomads, the C visa and the day visa. The short-stay visa is only good for 3 to 6 months, but the day visa can be extended and can last up to a year. Both of these have similar requirements. Applicants must show that they make at least $3,600 a year. Having a legal travel document and health insurance are also necessary. Costa Rica is number 1. Costa Rica is a country in Central America that is known for its beaches, volcanoes, and wildlife. It is a rough, rainforest-covered country with coasts on both the Caribbean and the Pacific. Compared to its Central or South American neighbors, the country has great living conditions. It is safe and pleasant. Its cities and towns like San Jose, Puerto Viejo, Playa Flamingo, and Jaco are all safe and great places for people from other countries to move to. Most of these places speak English, but you must know at least a little bit of Spanish to travel in the country's center. But the visa standards and policy for digital nomads have changed a bit since last year. Currently, a single person needs $3,000 per month in income to apply for a visa, while a person applying with a family or spouse needs $4,000 per month in income.